Foie gras is an original dish of French gastronomy, but now it has also gained fame in other countries, where it is known by the name of foie. It is a food product that can be eaten either on its own, examples spread on bread, or used as an ingredient in other dishes, such as sushi or steak. In today's episode, we'll explain what it is and we'll show you everything you need to know about this typical French dish. Wouldn't you love to know more about this expensive luxury, as it's fondly called, which costs between $40 to $80 per pound? Then you should watch this video till the end. But before we proceed, kindly subscribe to this channel. Whilst you subscribe, ring the notification bell to get more video updates. What is foie gras? Foie gras consists of the liver of a duck or goose. In order for it to be considered foie, the duck or goose is pre-fed. The animal can either undergo gavage, corn-based feeding, or be fed naturally. Intriguingly, some countries have their own preferred production process for the foie gras. French law specifies that, for the production of foie gras, the duck or goose must be fed by gavage, that is, forced feeding with corn. However, other countries prefer foie production that takes place by feeding the animal naturally. In literal terms, foie gras means fatty liver in French, and this is the main reason why waterfowls are used, since they have a natural ability to accumulate fat in the liver without getting sick. How exactly is this possible? Waterfowls have been studied to be migratory birds, and they take advantage of these reserves to survive during long periods of migration. At what time did foie gras start to get consumed? On a historical level, the consumption of foie gras dates back to the 25th century BC, when the Egyptians discovered that geese that rested on the banks of the River Nile in winter after their long migratory journeys stored natural reserves of fat in the liver. They noticed that the liver of these animals had a yellow color, and its flavor was exquisite. It didn't take long for the Egyptians to realize that they could speed up the process for the liver of these birds to reach its optimum state by overfeeding them. They soon began to fatten them so that their liver hypertrophied and thus be able to obtain what we know today as foie gras. The consumption of foie gras by the pharaohs of ancient Egypt was so popular that it can be seen to be represented in the tomb of the royal official Mereruka, which is located in the necropolis of Saqqara, Memphis, Egypt. The tomb contains a bas-relief in which a scene is seen where several people grab a group of geese by the neck while trying to insert balls of food into their throats. This practice became so popular in Egypt that it soon spread throughout the Mediterranean, although Egypt maintained its reputation as the leading producer of foie gras for a long period of time. The consumption of foie gras in Europe. From the arrival of the Romans, foie gras began to be considered a gastronomic dish in Europe. The first registered name is that of Aequior ficatum, a Latin term in which aequior means liver and ficatum is equivalent to fed by figs. From this last term, it derived the current name of foie, not only in French but also in Italian. Liver in this language is called fegato. With the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the consumption of hypertrophied duck liver gradually lost fame in European cuisine in general. However, there are several historians who affirm that it could be the Jews who continued the tradition they had learned during their membership in the Roman Empire and brought it to Central and Eastern Europe during the time of migrations. Over time, foodies began to take notice of this exquisite dish that they could stock up on in the Jewish ghettos. Taking a step further, Pope Pius V's cook made mention of the liver of domestic geese raised by Jews in his cookbook, Opera. The chefs of the German noble class also noticed this dish, which began to garner quite a lot of fame in Alsace, and that was how, little by little, it made a dent in French cuisine. Duck foie gras versus goose foie gras, foie d'oie. Having known that the foie gras exists in two forms, the duck foie gras and the goose foie gras. Which is the best? Duck foie gras is much tastier. It has more character. Conversely, goose foie gras, also known as foie d'oie, is much finer. It has more of a less distinctive flavor that tends to be produced in the back of the mouth. As a general rule, it is the goose foie gras that wins in terms of taste, widely preferred by connoisseurs to duck foie gras. Some will cut directly by saying that the duck foie gras is better, and vice versa. In all fairness, it is, on the one hand, a matter of taste, and on the other hand, a story of habit and education of the palate. If you have never consumed goose foie gras, the latter may seem bland in taste compared to duck foie gras. If, on the contrary, you are used to eating it, you will enjoy this delicate flavor. When it comes to size, it's no surprise that goose liver is much larger than that of a duck. On average, a goose foie gras weighs about 800 grams, while that of a duck is more around 550 grams. How about in terms of aesthetic and preparation? As trivial as it sounds, we will agree that the goose is a more noble and graceful animal than the duck. However, the duck foie gras wins without question. It is more appetizing with its beautiful color from beige to orange. Goose foie gras is duller when cooked, with grayish tones. While on the other hand, it also has a pretty pink color. Also note that goose liver, which is much larger than its counterpart, has the particularity of hardly melting when cooking your half-cooked goose foie gras or your jars of goose foie gras. That is also why goose foie gras remains a wonderful product. In the end, however, duck foie gras is less expensive than goose foie gras, a price difference which can easily be explained by the constraints and greater demands on the breeding of these animals. More difficult to breed, geese lend themselves much less to the game of industrialization than ducks. In addition, goose foie gras would be easier to cook, an element to take into account when trying to arbitrate between these two choices. Which choice would you invite to your table, the smart duck or the refined goose? Preparation of foie gras. The process of preparing foie gras consists, as already explained earlier, in overfeeding the animal so that it accumulates fat in the liver. That is, it is based on exploiting the ability of birds, such as duck or goose, to accumulate this fat that really produces naturally to take advantage of it during the migration season. For the preparation of the same, the animal goes through two phases. First, the pre-stuffed, and secondly, the stuffed. These processes involve hypertrophy of the liver of the goose or duck to finally sacrifice them. For consumption, foie gras can be presented in various formats. Fresh foie gras can be of extra quality, in which case it is a liver of uniform color and firm texture, weighing about 450 to 600 grams. The premium quality may have some spots or a less uniform color. The last group are those that present a lower quality. Their size is small, they present little consistency, and they can have bruises or spots. Depending on its cooking, foie gras can be served fresh, semi-preserved, or canned. It is considered fresh when the liver is raw. It is presented in a whole piece, and its use is mainly intended for the hotel industry. For example, it can be cut into slices, cutlets, and get into the pan or baked for consumption in terrine mi-cuit. Foie gras covered in dark chocolate and pistachios. The version of canned foie gras consists, first of all, in placing it in an airtight container and subjecting it to a heat treatment that can reach temperatures of between 105 and 108 degrees Celsius. Canned foie gras remains in good condition for a period of 4 years, and its flavor even improves with the passage of time. In fact, the best time to consume it is considered to be shortly before it expires. In addition, there are several products in which foie gras is the main ingredient. On the one hand, there's the foie gras parfait, which consists of a paste for which the foie gras has been previously crushed. The mousse of foie gras contains 50% of foie gras and tends to be spread on toast. Finally, the foie gras gelatine also contains another star dish for the consumption of foie gras that is usually eaten at Christmas. Pateria de Souza, the alternative to foie gras. The process followed to obtain foie gras is the subject of much criticism, since in order to make the liver of the animals hypertrophy, and therefore be large and fatty, they are fed by force, inserting a tube down their throat. This practice has led many to declare themselves objectors when it comes to eating foie gras, and has led to protests from various animal defense associations and a ban on its marketing in some cities. In 2004, a ban was placed on the consumption of foie gras in California after an 8-year extension in which they were given the opportunity to find an alternative production technique, which could well be the one applied by Pateria de Souza on its farm in Extremadura. The Souza family, rescuing the tradition of their Danish ancestors, once dedicated to the manufacture of foie gras, decided to undertake after a bump, producing this delicacy in an ethical way and ensuring the natural diet of the Iberian geese. The free-range Iberian goose foie gras is a result of his work, a delicacy that some time ago, in 2006, deserved the Coupe de Coeur award at the International Food Show in Paris. Pateria de Souza, which is what the company is called, raises the geese taking advantage of the migratory habits of the birds, obtaining its production once a year in the winter season. The problem seems to lie in the name, since there have been voices that do not agree that the product is called foie gras, as it is obtained with a different technique. The result is an organic foie gras obtained from free-range animals with a liver up to 4 times smaller than normal, as there is no forced atrophy and a much more expensive production process. Did you enjoy today's video? Kindly like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell for more timely video updates. Bye!